Good morning, June 18, 2020. I'm Pastor Rusty, and this is your daily inspo. I hope you're all doing well. I hope that you're making and you're thriving, and I hope that you're able to rein your focus in and keep it on Christ, even during these times. Seek truth and walk the path of peace. Matter of fact, the verse that I want to focus on today is in Ephesians chapter 4, one of my favorite chapters for so many different reasons. But Paul at the beginning of that chapter says, I therefore, the prisoner in the Lord, beg you lead a life worthy of the calling which you have been called, with all humility, gentleness, patience, bearing with one another in love, making every effort to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Then he goes on and talks about there's one body, one faith, one Lord, one baptism, one God and Father of all. He's talking to the church here, and that's very relevant to our discussion because he's talking to the church. He's talking to them to, walk worthy and to maintain the unity that is in Christ. And, that takes effort because you ever met a porcupine? You ever met some people that are more like cacti than they are like humans? That's a hard thing, isn't it? Some people are just prickly, mad about everything all the time, struggling with this, struggling with that. You can't get a smile out of them, but they want to raise their hands on Sunday morning and act like they worship and live their life like they're mad at the world. Well, that's them. What about you? What can you do today to make it a better world? What can you do today to make even our church relationships? I knew this speaker one time. He had a sermon, and it was called Serpents in the Pews. It's one of the reasons why he quit pastoral ministry, because just everybody was to be waited on, and everybody wanted, to get their, it's like they joined some kind of social club, and they want to make sure they got all their member benefits. Well, here's the thing. Jesus said that the world has people serve them and take care of them, and the greatest among them has the most stuff and has the most power. And Jesus said, but it shouldn't be that way among you. Among you, the greatest of all will be the servant of all. Now think about that. I had another professor that said, we're supposed to be servants, and you know how you know if you're acting like or walking around like a servant is how do you react when somebody treats you like a servant. Now think about that. When somebody treats you like a servant, how do you react? It ain't happening to me. And all these other things. The mindset of a servant, that requires dying to yourself daily, as Paul said. That requires putting aside your supposed wants, maybe even your needs, to supply the needs of others. And that's a Christ-like walk. And that's something you can do today. That's something you can set out and say, you know what? I'm going to be a servant of all, because Jesus said that's the greatest attribute. Seek after that. Oh, you won't get any applause and you won't get any accolades, and your name may not be on the bottom of any book. But when we get to heaven, all we want to hear is, well done, good and faithful servant. And I hope that that's your goal today. This is the day the Lord hath made. Rejoice and be glad in it. I'm Pastor Rusty. I'll talk to you tomorrow.